And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcast. Plus, also, of course, we do Inside Sports Fantasy Football. We've got an episode coming up later this week that's going to cover the latest news and trends in the NFL. So go ahead and check that out as well, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, as well, go ahead and check out Ox 1947. You know he's talking up a storm about the great performance yesterday for the Lakers at, of course, LakersBall.com. And you know he owns a company while he's working out as well. That's Simblades with the Y.com. Of course, also as well, you got to go ahead and check out the Lakerholics, Jamie Sweet, Mr. Trap Game, Admiral Akbar. Go ahead and join him with his 5 Things articles and the number one Lakers blogger that's out there, that's Laker Tom. Go ahead and support them today at, of course, LakersBall.com. I'm sorry, Lakerholics.com. Cool, bro. Daniel, glad to have you here. Best Lakers chat room that's out there is the Lakers Fast Break. We're doing a pregame tonight for the Lakers at the Sacramento Kings tonight at the Crypt on a back-to-back for the Los Angeles Lakers. Latest news and notes for tonight's game: Anthony Davis is listed as available, and also as well, LeBron James is listed as questionable. It's going to be a game-time decision. You would think he would be available after only playing 23 minutes last night, but we'll see. You don't know how he feels one game to the next. He's 38 years of age, so we're taking it one game at a time. But obviously, with the right now in an early Pacific Division matchup where we've already lost once to the Sacramento Kings, and we're actually technically in second place. We have the same one game above 500, but they have at Sacramento a little slightly higher winning percentage. So tonight, a victory for the Lakers would vault them into the lead into the Pacific Division and obviously higher in the Western Conference standings as well. So definitely looking forward to seeing what we can do. But please support everyone out there if you can. Our good friends, Empire Jeff TV, Lakers in 5, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights right there, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights, and also as well, go ahead and support the John McCallion channel. And speaking of supporting, Facebook, it just had a tremendous amount of coverage in the past few days. Our pregame yesterday did 1,400 views. So I cannot thank enough everyone out there on Facebook for checking us out. If you like what you see when it comes to the Lakers Fast Break and all the coverage that we give, go ahead and check us out each and every time by hitting the like button on Facebook, follow on Facebook, or also as well, you can catch us on Twitter, Twitch, Kick, and of course, if you're subscribed today on YouTube, you hit the little Joe, you click on the little Joe with the beady eyes, you go ahead and you make sure that you are now subscribed, of course, to everything going on with the latest Lakers Fast Break podcast. Cool Bro says, when I went to Barnes yesterday, they did not have Heir to the Empire. Sadly, they've been selling out, but I got Kenobi and Game of Thrones. Excellent choices. Good luck with the whole series of Fire and Ice books there. I will say, though, that Heir to the Empire, if you decide to get it through Amazon or whatnot, I think that's a pretty good read right there. Blue Magic, what's up? Great to have you here. It is the pregame for the Los Angeles Lakers tonight, facing off in the second game of the back-to-back against the Sacramento Kings. The Lakers, as we know, lost in overtime a couple weeks ago to the Sacramento Kings. So we're looking for a little bit of revenge for a game which we should have clearly won, but unfortunately did not pull it off. After last night's big-time victory, and I'll tell you what, it was a very impressive victory, the best Lakers overall performance of the season. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do to back it up on a back-to-back. It is right now LeBron James with the question mark because he's listed as questionable. So we're seeing what the Lakers will do, but it is a game time decision. I will retweet once I find out what his status is at Lakers Fast Break on Twitter. So go ahead and check that out. Follow if you want to go ahead and do so. Cool. Gerald, is Kenobi better than the show? I don't know about the book yet, Kenobi. I've not read through the book. I just know I read through the show. I watched the show on Disney Plus, and it was okay. but kind of corny, especially with the battles between him and Darth Vader, because you already know what the outcome's going to be, and they try to put in some suspense, but it's like, okay, we already know what's going to happen later on in the Star Wars universe. Cool Bros. Yes, Lakers in 5. Give a big shout out to them. Always follow their channel, as I mentioned earlier. Also, as well, go ahead and check out what Empire Jeff TV, of course, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, and the John McCalian channel are doing as well. But it is, of course, the Lakers coming in tonight with a 6-5 record, finally back up above the 500 line. Let's see if we can go ahead and continue this winning streak, which is now standing at 3 games heading into tonight's contest. Again, of all the matchups over the next week, with the next 5 games being very winnable games, this one would be the toughest because it's coming off a back-to-back and a team in a similar situation as the Lakers are right now. So it'll be interesting to see if the Lakers do have enough energy after coming off such an easy win last night to go ahead, if they can put 2 games like that back to back. I'm not expecting 60+% from behind the arc. And if anybody out there is, they're kidding themselves, because the Lakers last night on the over, I think, NBA record, I think the NBA record was over 30 attempts, best shooting performance from the 3-point area in a regular season game. That's what the Lakers did yesterday, and I'm very happy for them that they did. Devotion says, in response to the Draymond Green controversy, where he decided to go ahead and put the sleeper on Rudy Gobert. He didn't get the submission. He got the ejection, and everybody's talking about what we were talking about last night. I think Draymond will get 10 games minimum. I can't believe Kerr's stance on this. What a joke. I will say that, yes, Kerr's stance on it, he is the coach of the player, so you know what he has to say PR wise. But if behind the scenes he's actually still believing and saying that, I can't believe Steve Kerr would actually be behind the scenes supporting or trying to condone or trying to pass off what Draymond, or make excuses on in behind the scenes. In front of the scenes, you got to go ahead and support your player, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not surprised by that. I don't condone what he said in any way, shape, or form, but I'm not surprised by what he said as far as in the comments, supporting Draymond Green and saying, as far as what he said, he was right there. He saw it. In fact, he was trying to tell Draymond Green to stop, to get his hands off Rudy Gobert. So he saw firsthand, and behind the scenes, I'm sure he's very upset with Draymond's actions, but this has been a continuous thing, a very continuous thing going on with Draymond Green. I am not confident that Adam Silver will give out a hearty suspension like that. I'm hoping he will, to send a message to Draymond that stuff that he's continuously doing over the years is not going to fly. But I doubt that that's the case, and I doubt that Draymond Green, even after a suspension, will actually understand and realize he has to change who he is, because he is who he is at this stage of his career, and that's what it is right there. Cool Bro says Ahsoka was good, though. Yeah, Ahsoka was pretty good. I'll give you that. Cool Bro says, Joe, what are your 5 new favorite fantasy series? I haven't read enough yet to tell you mine. No worries. I'll probably drop that on a little bit later. Cool Bro, let me put some time to it. And I'll definitely get back to you on that. Duval Page says, Rudy was smart, but 15 games. Yeah, I don't know. I just honestly don't think Duval, and it's not because he doesn't deserve the 10 to 15 game suspension, guys out there. It's because I just don't think that Adam Silver in this, I'm leaning towards Joe. As far as the soft NBA, but sort of the Adam Silver treating these guys with kid gloves type deal. I'm just not sure that even a repeat offender like Draymond Green will be able to go ahead and get that out there as far as that's concerned. So we'll see. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is, of course, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching and listening. You can catch the full coverage of the Los Angeles Lakers and, of course, what's coming up with the Sacramento Kings tonight. You can catch our commentary tonight on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Please go ahead and join us today for that. We truly would like it. You hear Joe off the cuff and uncut. You hear Sean, Magic Man Grice. You hear Laker Nick. Sometimes I'm in there as well, of course, a lot. You also hear from Henry from outside courtside Lakers, and also, of course, you see Stone Hansen. Those are the people that you've seen lately there on Playback. So join us, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Coolbro says, when I went to Barnes, it looked like the GRM made a new book in the series. Could possibly be the case. Absolutely. I haven't updated that as of yet. Duval Page says, Kendrick Perkins says Fox is better than AD and LeBron. You know, Duval, Kendrick Perkins is all about shock value. He's all about saying that stuff. That's what he's being paid for. People have to take it with a grain of salt. He is being paid just like Stephen A to go ahead and say those shock value things. You know, common sense will tell you that that's not the case. AD is playing better defense right now than virtually anybody in the NBA. Look who's leading in block shots right now. He is doing a tremendous job for us on that side of the ball. So to say that he's more valuable than De'Aaron Fox is absolutely ludicrous. And LeBron, you know the numbers that we've talked about over the past few weeks in regards to the numbers for LeBron on and off the floor. Now, yesterday it actually worked out well, and I'm glad to see that. But LeBron on and off the floor, those numbers have not been pretty for him off the floor. So to say that De'Aaron Fox is better than AD and LeBron at this stage of their career, I think that's pushing it. You know, talk about 3-4 years down the line. De'Aaron Fox will still be in his prime. AD will be in his mid 30s, and LeBron will either be retired or close to it. So that's a different story then. But no problem, cool, bro. But yeah, but I will get back to you on those 5 fantasy series for you that you were asking about. Tears of Joy says, what Draymond did is assault. Basically, I look like Rudy Gobert was the peacemaker and all, trying to be a peacemaker in all this when he grabbed Klay Thompson, but he was only trying to do so in a seemingly in a breakup kind of way. Just, hey, man, just calm down, cool it, cool it. When Draymond Green came from literally out of nowhere to go ahead and put the chokehold on him. And I thought that was, you know, basically it was just a lot of emotion. He plays off a lot of emotion, and it's worked so well for him at various stages of his career. But as we're seeing, the Golden State Warriors are getting declining returns because you now have a Draymond Green in his mid 30s. He's slowed down. He's not as athletic. He's not as able to cover as much ground. And you're getting more and more of this emotional, outbursts from him as a way to compensate for his declining play overall. That's why I didn't think the Golden State Warriors would be at that upper echelon, while some people still think they are. I unfortunately don't, because I think the Lakers proved in that series against the Golden State Warriors that it's just not going to. They're older, they're smaller, and they're slower. So I don't think that they're as effective a team. Although Brandon Podziemski did a great job last night, could be a great find for the Golden State Warriors. I heard Kerr saying he's going to be now a regular part of the rotation, which is great for them. But it just shows that there's another player that the Lakers could have drafted that was drafted behind Jalen Hood-Schifino. Jalen Hood-Schifino, we haven't even seen yet, but as far as in a regular season game, but only seen what we've seen as far as the not very good performances throughout the summer and in the preseason games. So we'll see what happens there, if the Lakers will not regret, not taking a Jaime Jaquez Jr., Brandon Podziemski, or anyone else that was drafted behind JHS in this draft that they just had. So we'll see. But it is the Lakers. They are playing tonight. 7 p.m. is the time. Please join us. Playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. That is playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Please join us, because you will go ahead and be able to be a part of what we're doing each and every time out right there at Playback. Again, off the cuff Joe, he's uncensored there, so I know everybody likes that. Plus, also as well, you have Sean Grice, just as uncensored. He goes off the wall from time to time. You also have, as far as what we see on the screen, you got Laker Nick trying to keep everything down, to keep the analysis there. But Sean is sensational on Playback. Joe is great on Playback too. And then, of course, whenever we can get the other guys like Stone Hansen, Henry Hill, Those guys are also awesome as well. So go ahead and check it out today, starting at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. tonight on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Doobie says Steve Kerr uses to bench Clay. They've got some young dogs over there, but that old school mentality, honestly, Clay's pride is holding the bat. I'm not going to say differently, Doobie, because Clay Thompson has struggled for the past, well, actually, ever since he's had his injury, he has not been the same since he had the devastating knee and Achilles injuries. So it's really, for those type of injuries, those are really hard to get back. So I do not see Clay Thompson ever getting to that level again. You may see flashes, but yeah, I agree with you. They should play those young guys a lot more and see what they're all about. But we'll see. Um, Gerald, in the first law, is the first law trilogy any good? Eh, that's all right. I thought it was okay, but again, that's something I think that's maybe more akin to someone else's taste on that. But I thought it was okay, but it's not my favorite cup of tea, if that makes sense. But once again, it is the Lakers fast break tonight. They are playing against the Sacramento Kings tonight at the Crypt. 7 p.m. is the start time. Please join us. Playback.tv/Lakers fast break. Again, with the Kings, the Lakers do have the size advantage, so they need to go ahead absolutely and be able to go ahead and pound on the boards. Sabonis is going to try and rebound the ball like crazy, but if they can go ahead and gain an advantage on the boards, try to slow down the Sacramento transition game a little bit, and just instead of going crazy with the threes, because, obviously having a historic night from behind the arc last night is going to get them like itching to go ahead and saying, oh, we could do it again tonight. No problem. As you know out there, that's not always going to be the case. That's not always going to be the case where they're going to be able to hit very well the next game after. We see that before in every sport where you're hot one game and you're not the next. So my advisement, as I said last night on the post game, was not to go crazy from three to start off with, to start using the rebounding for easy transition points and going to the free throw line first, and then work your way out to see if your 3 point barrage is just as successful or even close to that like last night. Tommy says, as asking, is LeBron playing? As of now, Tommy, he is listed as questionable. He's a game time decision. He's going to try, I think probably around 6:30. He's going to try out there, or maybe even the next hour, he's going to try and work out on the floor tonight, the different floor, the regular floor of the state of the Crypt, and see if he's a go for game time. I will retweet it out at Lakers Fast Break if he is a go for tonight. So please check that out. Also, as well, Hoodie Walker says attempted murder charge on Draymond Green. Only according to Twitter. Only according to Twitter. So I think that's the issue there. But again, I do not know how many games of suspension he will get. I know what he deserves, but Adam Silver, has been to the point where he has been very soft, even on Draymond Green as far as in the past. So I'm not confident he's going to give him a long suspension. He only gave John Morant that long suspension after multiple offenses that really embarrassed the league. So I'm hopeful that they'll finally come around to going out and giving him a long suspension, but we'll wait and see. But also, Doobie, right, in the 90s, that's a no call. As in the 80s, absolutely, as with the Rambus clothesline, so to speak. But also as well, here today, good man indeed. He, along with the Magic Man, Sean Grice, and Joe Soro, are great parts of the playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break game night, like tonight at 7 p.m. against the Sacramento Kings. It is Laker Nick, and Laker Nick, great to have you here, my friend. Before we get into the Lakers, I want to hear some of your thoughts on the wrestling match, aka Sleeper Hold, that took place last night in Golden State with Golden State and Minnesota, where Draymond Green, absolutely no call for that. Absolutely no call to put him in a chokehold like that. I think that Rudy Gobert, I know a lot of flack on Rudy Gobert for a lot of things, but I think he was only trying to break up the play, break up the fight. And Draymond Green, you've seen he's been a meme throughout Twitter today. I don't know what kind of suspension Adam Silver's going to lay down. I'm assuming it's going to be soft, but I'm hoping to be surprised, my friend.
Yeah, Gerald. And thanks for hosting. Yeah, with the Draymond situation, I mean, it's clear that he had some emotions brewing that led to his chokehold of Rudy Gobert. And I was surprised the length of time that Draymond Green held on to Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
I'm even further surprised that Rudy Gobert didn't. As far as I know, and Gerald, correct me if I'm wrong, if Rudy Gobert sustained any type of injury to the neck because of that, I haven't heard a word about that. But if he did, then it would obviously compound, the case for Draymond to get significant time off from the league. But I'm with you. I think that the behavior was uncalled for. It wasn't a basketball play. I'm obviously all for guys playing tough and showing emotion on the court and showing passion. And, sometimes we do critique the NBA for not being as physical as we want or as it once was. But here, it was just not a basketball play, and players could get injured. In some sense, we could take humor from it, assuming that Gobert didn't get injured or seriously injured. But yeah, I would expect or anticipate that Draymond should get some 10 games with no pay, something along those lines. But understanding Adam Silver and his track record, that's probably doubtful.
I will say, Doobie, though, in response, and I'll get back to what you were saying because it's very interesting with this Draymond issue. Doobie said Warriors fans told me today that if AD was Draymond, he would have got ejected last night for his push. You're probably right. I think you're probably right. I think that the league is getting a little bit tired of Draymond, and this brings us back around to what Draymond did last night, anyways, Laker Nick. I'm just not sure how far they'll go. How much of an embarrassment is Draymond Green to this league? He is no longer okay. You give and you take. Okay, for all the stuff that he does that's bad, he does enough stuff that's good for the Warriors to go ahead and get him all those titles during their run, et cetera, et cetera. Now it's just because he's an older player, less athletic, not able to defend like he's used to. Now he's just going off a lot of times on emotion. And now it's just becoming really an embarrassment for the league. I am hoping they'll lay down the law, but I'm not very confident in it, Laker Nick.
Yeah, they have to strike a balance here. So the balance would be making a sanction that's severe enough to send a message and quote unquote make Draymond an example. And but second, they also have to balance that out with not making the sanction so harsh that it creates backlash from either the fan base, other NBA fans, or other players. Because Draymond, for what he is, he does have some social capital around the NBA. As we know, LeBron James is his sort of on that Draymond camp after Draymond has been promoting a lot of what LeBron has done. So we'll see what happens. But I do agree that there is a Draymond tax. There are situations where he is treated, uh, uh, let's say, slightly more with a heavier hand than other players. But it comes with the territory. Draymond has earned that. He has created that reputation, and I'm not entirely sure that he would want it any other way. He likes being the villain, and so, to be honest, he's probably really enjoying the situation right now.
Really, Nick, how much is he actually? How much support outside of Golden State is he? Would he really get? How much of a backlash from the fans
Yeah.
or other players would he really get if he got a long suspension? Really?
Yeah. So I'll tell you this, Gerald. One thing is that the Timberwolves players themselves didn't seem all that offended or as offended as I would have expected when their own teammate is getting chokehold on the floor for a prolonged period of time. I mean, we saw players like Cat that try to, like, I don't know, have some sort of reaction, but he did not intervene physically to stop
that
Green
much.
from
He he
choking.
was he was slightly grabbing and trying to
Yeah,
get, and then
yeah,
I mean, Steve Kerr was right in Draymond Green's face. I don't know if he was telling him to stop or telling him to continue. I'm assuming stop, of course, but it's you saw it there. It's just there's I don't know. It's just because it's on two of the least liked players in the NBA. So it's I don't know. It just feels weird that it was just those two going at it because again, Laker Nick, like I said, they're the two least liked individuals in the NBA.
yeah. No, and I agree with that, Gerald. I mean, it's an interesting situation. Again, there's a comedic element to it. It's probably one of these events that is just going to live on in perpetuity, and we're just going to be talking about this 10, 15, 20 years from now, and this is going to be in Draymond's legacy, and honestly Rudy Gobert's legacy too, unfortunately. So he's going to have to see those pictures, his family, any offspring he might have. So it's not great to be Rudy Gobert right now.
It's so funny though, Nick. If you do go to Twitter and you can check out, there's some posts with a highlight reel or a low light reel of all the infractions that Draymond Green has done over the course of the career. And the funny thing is, it keeps on getting added on. So now it's like over what 4 or 5 minutes long, just because with all the infractions, all the hard fouls, all the net kicking, everything out there by that Draymond Green has done it. It's just it's so funny to see how long it is now because there's so many incidents that he's done over the years.
Yeah, Gerald, and actually, like I know that you watch wrestling. I don't watch it as much as I used to, but I guess which wrestling crew would you put Draymond as part of given last night's events?
Well, the most common one was Ted DiBiase, the $1 million man, trying to give Rudy Gobert the $1 million dream. You could say that just any chokehold, like I've seen Brian Danielson of recent times trying to give chokeholds like that. It's just it's just funny to see exactly what he's doing as far as being able to apply that, like he's been trained to do it. It was almost UFC-ish, more likely, more akin to UFC-ish as far as the chokehold is concerned, because that's more commonly utilized the chokehold in UFC. If you can get a chokehold on someone and cinch it tight, that's pretty much a guaranteed victory for you right there in MMA.
Yeah, and Gerald, on that point, that's why when I do think about the issue, I do think that Adam Silver has to do something along the double digit mark. If
Yeah.
it's 10 games, I think if it's 10 games, it's enough to send the message, but not so extreme that, it's considered unreasonable.
Well, isn't Joe Dumars involved in this too? He's supposed to be, part of this player authority deal as far as that's concerned. I thought because he was talking about that, as far as in recent days as a vice president of the league, I think in response, and I think that's part of where he covers in that aspect.
Yeah, so we'll see where the situation lands. I assume the NBA will have a decision out by tomorrow or maybe the end of the week. So we'll see what happens, Gerald.
We'll see what happens indeed, my friend. But before we go and head on out, I got to get your insight on tonight's game, the Sacramento Kings and the Los Angeles Lakers at the Crypt. It is a battle, technically, for first place in the Pacific Division. I say technically because it's only 11 games in. So, there's still quite a bit of ways to go. But it is a battle for first place in the Pacific Division and a higher seed in the Western Conference. The Lakers would probably vault with a victory tonight. Yeah, I'll check to make sure, but in the top five in the Western Conference with a win. Your thoughts on some of the keys to victory? Again, the best performance of the season for the Lakers was last night. I'm not expecting that tonight, but I'm expecting something where if they play smart, they don't go three happy because they fell in love with it yesterday. There's a tendency to do that again. If they don't fall in love with the three and just focus in on what they're good at, transition and going ahead and getting to the free throw line, they could really go ahead and do a number on the Kings tonight.
Yeah, Gerald, it's time to keep the momentum going. Last night's victory was a comfortable statement win, and it was much needed. It seemed like ages really since we've had a win like that where LeBron and AD could lay off the gas pedal and just rest in the fourth quarter. And so, um, hopefully it is another win tonight. It's doubtful that it will be a comfortable win. The Kings are a better team. And so I just think that we need to keep the momentum going. One player that I'm hoping and I'm kind of wondering why he's not getting more minutes is obviously Rui Hachimura. In some ways, he's been um, one of the more consistent or the most consistent role player off the bench. I mean, he's shooting close to 48% from three, but he's still only getting about 21 minutes per game. Granted, he was out due to an injury, so I'm hoping that he's able to continue his good play and get some meaningful minutes tonight.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Maybe coming off the concussion, they want to ease him back in the rotation a little bit more slowly and more effectively. But yeah, Rui, maybe that's what they have designed for him. Maybe that's where he is best. Maybe they realize if they get too much Rui in let's say a 30 to 32, 35 minute span, you get declining returns to the point where it doesn't become favorable out there for you. And that Rui coming off the bench, that's probably his best suited role. Coming off the bench, really giving us a number for 20, 25 minutes a game. Maybe that's the ticket for him.
Yeah, you're right, Gerald. I mean, he's definitely, a capable player, but, I wouldn't be giving him 35 minutes a night. But if his minutes were slightly increased to like, let's say around the 25-minute mark, I think he'd be fine. And, so I'm hoping that he continues, contributing to the team and that other players, start stepping up from, especially from the 3-point line. Aside from Rui, as you know, Gerald, we really don't have any 3-point shooters that are shooting uh, really above 37%, with the exception of Austin Reeves and Anthony Davis on
I think
limited
Christian
attempts.
Wood still, even with yesterday's performance, still shooting right around 40. He was the team leader at 44% coming of the game.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Maybe his percentage went down. I am seeing LeBron 36.7 now.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
because he was 0 for he did not he was the only one of the Lakers who did not have a good statistical game, even though he rebounded well. So, yes.
yeah. So I'm hoping, players like D'Lo, for example, he's at 34.4. I mean, he should really be, I think, a 38% or above 3-point shooter, or thereabouts. So hopefully he's able to right the ship on his outside shot.
Agreed. Very much agreed on that. Absolutely. And with that, yesterday the team as a whole, their 3-point percentage grew by 4%. So it's players like D'Angelo Russell, who were at 30% really coming into the game, shot up as well. So that's good to see, my friend. But again, I don't want them to fall in love with it because you and I have seen so much inconsistent shooting from out there that it's not advisable for them to fall in love with it, or especially early on in tonight's game, which may happen with an up-tempo team like Sacramento.
Yeah, Gerald. We'll see what again. I think with the Keens, right? Their threat there is going to be the speed. It's going to be De'Aaron Fox. We know that he's the fastest, or at least one of the fastest players in the NBA. And so when he gets the ball, it's a sprint to the finish line, and the finish line being the basket. And so the Laker guards just have to be extremely alert. This is a situation where our slow-footed guards like D'Lo and Austin Reeves could get exploited off the fast break, and we just need to be alert, and willing to battle for the rebounds, get offensive rebounds. And so, as we've been saying all throughout the season, we're hoping that Lakers continue to improve on the glass, and that AD and LeBron stay healthy coming out of this match.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Please join us. Join Laker Nick. Join Magic Man Sean Grice. Join Joe Soro tonight for awesome, awesome game tonight. Looking forward to it. Second of a back-to-back tonight at the Crypt. Go ahead and join us at 7 p.m. Playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Hopefully, you will do that. Uh, Doobie says Boston does look good. Yeah, Boston has been playing well. And even with two players out of the lineup tonight, they are still leading by 15 at home, on the road at Philadelphia. And that's very scary when they have two of their better players out of the lineup tonight. So, yeah, that's not a good sign for Philadelphia, who's been playing really well until as of late. Alan says, I did notice we are having our forward to be the drivers to the rim and make up for the arc a lack of athleticism by our guards. That's the case. We've seen more of that. But who do you think? Who do you think that needs to step up tonight in order to go ahead and get the victory tonight? Because yesterday, excellent performance by virtually everyone. Who do you think really needs to step up? LeBron is questionable, so we don't know his status. But needs to step up tonight in order to get the job done?
Yeah, Gerald, I think we're gonna have to rely on people like Torian Prince. I'm hoping that Torian Prince is able to, you know, get that 40% outside shot that he promised coming in into the season. I'm hoping that he's able to also contribute defensively. Especially tonight with a fast team that is the Sacramento Kings. So I'm actually hoping that Prince has an outstanding game. We actually haven't seen an outstanding game from Prince so far this season. I'm not saying that he's been a bust or an ineffective player, but if he's able to have a blowout game and just really hit his outside shot while at the same time contributing defensively. I think be a great game for him to start moving in that direction.
You're right, Doobie, Mr. 40%. He's due. Absolutely correct as well, Nick. So we'll see what happened. We'll see what happens tonight as the Lakers face off against the Sacramento Kings tonight at 7 p.m. Please, again, join us, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. I'm going to put it in there for everyone. You can go ahead and join. It's absolutely free to go ahead and join us. You get to hear Joe Soro uncut. You get to hear Sean Grice, the Magic Man, uncut. You get to hear Laker Nick providing that valuable insight that he does in trying to calm Joe and Sean down. Maybe Stone Hansen will stop by, or maybe Henry Hill, or maybe who knows, will stop by tonight for our big game tonight against the Kings on playback.tv. So it's Lakers Fast Break. And then, of course, after the game, the best Lakers post game that's out there is right here at the Lakers Fast Break, and the best chat room that's out there as well. Of course, the Lakers Fast Break. So, Nick, great having you here as always. Glad you can stop on by. Any last thoughts on the game before we head on out, my friend?
No, Gerald, I just hope that yesterday's win was not a anomaly and that this team is starting to, cook things up the right way and that we're able to deliver another victory to the fan base. So I'm definitely looking forward to tonight's game and that the Lakers continue to have a winning record this season.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Please join us tonight for all the coverage on playback.tv. And then, of course, everything right here. Oh, latest in there. Looks like we got the word, Nick. We got the word. NBA suspending Draymond Green for 5 games. Thank you, Doobie. Thank you. Just got that all across Twitter myself.
5 games, 5 games, a little too short, Gerald.
What did I say? What did I tell you? What did I tell you, Nick?
Well, as I understand, Ramona Shelburne was on television. I didn't see her, but someone relayed to me that she was advocating for only a 2-game suspension.
Why does this surprise you? It's the media. Come on. It's this is something where he is just continuously going to go ahead and do this again and again. Next time he does this, do you see a larger suspension for him when he does something similar like this? Because I'm in Vegas, I would bet money on him doing something like this again.
Yeah, Gerald. I mean, the season is still very young, so we have what, like 70-ish games to go. So there's a 70 something, or he'll probably, because he's missing 5 games, so he has about 65-ish opportunities to mess up again. But I'll tell you what, Gerald, if you could become legendary in a meme and just like kind of rule the internet for the past 24 hours or so, missing 5 games because you chokehold somebody is a small price to pay.
It is, my friend, but it sends a bad message to all these other players that they too can go ahead and put someone in a chokehold and only get a small amount of games taken out of their pay. It does not send a good message to me.
It's a very poor message, but again, this is the NBA where players have probably the most power out of any professional sports league, and I don't know what went on behind the scenes. Obviously, I wasn't privy to whatever investigation took place and those discussions, but if you're only doing 5 games, it's a travesty. I mean, some of the things that the NBA does and handling certain situations, and I won't get into the Eric Lewis situation where they suspended that investigation entirely, but it's just questionable. There's questionable ethics involved, Gerald, and it's unfortunate and disappointing.
It is indeed. It is 5 games. That's the edict from Adam Silver, also as well Joe Dumars in the league. So there you go. There you have it. You have a situation that's there. We'll talk more about it tonight on the post game. But please, Eli says, I'm excited we get to see our big three for the first time this season. Yes, the big three for Phoenix is finally being together at the same time. We'll see what happens there. Doobie says LeBron needs to choke Fox and take a vacation. I don't know if I want to go that far, Doobie, but yeah, it's only going to get you 5 games, I guess, if you choke someone. But it is the Lakers Fast Break. We'll be on 7 p.m. Pacific. Go ahead and check us out on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. You watch the game along with us. Have a great time. Enjoy. Hopefully, the Lakers will win 4 in a row with a victory tonight and continue their success on a back-to-back. Looking forward to seeing that. And then after, of course, the best post game that's out there, whether you're on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Kick, or wherever, even on YouTube, it's right here at the Lakers Fast Break. So subscribe, like, follow, share, and tell a friend if they're a Lakers fan to go ahead and check us out right here tonight at the Lakers Fast Break podcast.